What's up, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me, your homegirl, Adosha Wright, the author of Curly Hair Adventures, What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, and of course, my free ebook that's available to all of my licensed peeps out there on Patreon at Global Hair Care. And that free ebook is titled The Beauty and Barber Survival Plan. How do we survive during pandemics, wars, and crises? I got a few tips that can help my peeps out. So here we go. What is this video all about, Miss Hot Thing? Barely 51. Y'all wasn't ready for the 51, was y'all? Okay, all right. So rest in peace, Prince. All right. Okay. So here are the questions that happen behind the scenes. Isn't her hair like beautiful? Okay. So the question that she had is, Miss Smarty Pants, I was just wondering, can you get the same results on straightening my hair with a straightening comb as you can with a flat iron? And the answer is, drum roll please. Okay, no, so the answer is that depends, okay? So, you know, I'm a hairstylist. Come on, guys. Hit the heart button, like these videos, share them with your family, your friends, your fellow cosmetologists, your barbers. They're gonna say two things. She's crazy or she's wrong, one or the other, okay? So no, it depends on how you want your hair to look. Now, if you're gonna use the straightening comb, here's what they don't tell you at the hair salon. When you're using heat on the hair, you're going to do what we call in the world of cosmetology is we're going to align your peptide or your bonds or your chains, okay? So your disulfide bonds are going to be rearranged, okay? And so when we put heat on them, the bonds will collapse and they will take on the new shape. Now, when you use a straightening comb, you're to get it to be straight like this, you're either going to put the comb in the hair and you're gonna press, hence pressing. Now, that type of pressing does not realign the bonds as much as a flat iron. Because when you flat iron the hair and you squeeze it, you're going to take those bonds and you're gonna align them a little bit further. Now, of course, if you use a relaxer, you're going to do what? Permanently alter the bonds. So what would happen is when you relax the hair, it's gonna permanently alter those bonds, and when you wet it, it's gonna stay straight. When you use a straightening comb or a flat iron, you're going to temporarily, you got me guys? Temporarily rearrange the bonds, but when you wet the hair, it will revert back. But there's always a doing in the butt. Hey, ow, sexy, sexy. So that's my new thing. Every time I say but, I'm gonna do the but, all right? There's always a but. Now, if you're one of those people who wait like 2, 3, 4 weeks to, you know, shampoo your hair after you flat iron it, Houston, we got a problem, okay? Cause what's gonna happen, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're going to permanently, that's right, permanently lock the new texture in because those bonds are broken and they're gonna stay that way. Why? Because you haven't washed out the new pattern and replaced it with the protein. Did you hear what I said? I'm gonna repeat that. If you flat iron your hair, you know how y'all, I'm gonna wrap my hair tonight. I'm gonna get this I'll be back in 2 weeks, Adosha. Oh, no, you're not in my salon. I'll be talking about 2 weeks, okay? Now, if you do that, now certain textures, you're gonna have a problem with that because the hair is too soft. And what can happen is, and if you do it as a practice now, if you do this as a practice, and if you start off with your hair too soft, where you're waiting every 2 weeks to wash the straight hair out, it's going to act like a permanent chemical alteration. And so that's when people start saying, heat is bad for my hair. No, it is not. You are bad for your hair because you are not washing your hair and realigning those what? bonds, those chains, okay? And the only way you can do that is when you wash it with soap and water, which will do what? Rearrange the bonds, and then you spray the protein, and it's gonna artificially replace what you took out when you did what? Straighten it. So I just saw, I'm gonna put it in this video. It was a clip from the old Ultra Sheet, and it says, when is the best time to repair your hair? After you've damaged it, okay? Immediately after you've damaged it. So don't wait those 2 weeks. And I know what you're gonna say. I've just spent like $75 on a silk press. You can't be effing serious on YouTube, girl. You got me bent. Or I don't think so, Karen. Or come on home, girl. Come on. My wife will just pay my wife to get her hair done. These are hairstyles. What we're doing in the salon is not in lieu of what you could be doing at home. Our job as licensed technicians is to really help you and empower you to do this yourself. And I know what you're thinking, hey, no damn way I'm gonna be able to get my hair that straight. Oh yes, you can, okay? It's gonna take some time, but we can teach you how to do it. Also, a lot of salons have a la carte menus where you can do the bulk of the work at home and then return to your salon and only pay for what you need. We offer that here. So if she could never, like some people are like, it ain't gonna happen. I don't care what you say, girls can do anything. This girl cannot, will not, ain't go, no, ever flat on her hair. I understand that, but you can wash it and blow it dry and come in and pay me to flat on it at a fraction of the cost. Ma'am, bam, thank you, ma'am, okay? So that's another way. But if you're just adamant, you're just hell-bent that I don't care, I spent $65, $55, $100, whatever the amount is to have my hair pressed out, a silk pressed, and they use all this keratin and all this other whatever, I don't know what they're gonna be using this year, and you wanna get the best bang for your buck. So you're trying to keep it on, whoops, I dropped my comb. You're trying to, you know, make this hairstyle last, you know, for 2 weeks. That's kind of like going to the dentist and getting your teeth clean and say, I ain't gonna brush it for 2 weeks. I'm serious, guys. And the reason being is that we're taught to do what? Brush our teeth. So we don't have that same analogy or that same reference when it comes to getting our teeth professionally clean and then going home and brushing them after we drank some wine or ate some chicken wings, you know what I'm saying? So if we have that same process when it comes to hair, we would think the same way. But culturally, there are a lot of African Americans who have been culturally taught to wait 2 weeks to shampoo their hair, and that just, again, you gotta watch my other videos on where that came from, but don't listen to that. It's so antiquated. If you wanna learn more about what happens in the beauty industry, come on and check me out on September 12th September 12th and September the 16th, GCUF. That's right, the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival will be showing a host of documentaries, but this one is called No Lie, and it's by Bayer Mack, and it takes you on this journey of what happens in the beauty industry. So hopefully the African American beauty industry. So hopefully we will have learned something, and today you guys are watching these videos. If you're a licensed professional, if you're a parent, you know, you're gonna understand that your role in teaching your client or your family member how to do their hair is very important, because these myths about paying this money to get this hair smoothed out and leaving it in for 2 weeks, you know what, that ain't gonna work. The scalp is a microbial habitat. It's self-cleansing. She's gonna sweat, you know, she's gonna go home and barbecue, you know, take a shower. It ain't gonna last. And if she does that as a practice, you know what happens? It will permanently straighten your hair. So at that point, it don't matter if you use creamy crack or don't wash it, you're gonna get the same results, okay? Sorry for the attitude, but I'm just getting tired of people, you know, getting upset saying that relaxers are the problem. Relaxers have not been the problem, have never been the problem, and will never be the problem. Why? Because everything ain't for who? Or a body, all right? So the next question is, how hot is hot, all right? Okay, so let's just use these. Now, this device back there is what we call an oven, okay? Now that oven gets up to about 550 to 600 degrees. So the longer you leave this in, this is a conductor of heat, and this is made out of cast iron and aluminum and nickel. It's got a couple of, about 3 minerals are in this iron. This is not the old-fashioned Kentucky made that was just straight up cast iron. So this has quite a few different minerals to make this straightening comb. So the cheaper the iron, the metal, I mean the mineral, it gets hotter. So nickel gets hotter than steel. You see where I'm going with that? Copper, you see? So if you leave these in for a long time, they're gonna get hot. You do have to burn this stuff off before you straighten it. That's why it looks like, you know, it's been dipped in some grease, because it has been, all right? So that gets up to about 500 degrees. It varies from oven to oven, and no hair can withstand that amount of heat. And remember, this is hot, like that is hot. You put that on the hair, you're gonna burn it out. So you have to, what we call temper. So when you temper your straightening comb, you put it on a napkin or a towel. If it turns brown, you from the Boogie Down Productions, of course. No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna burn the hair up, all right? So when it's warm, it's not brown, go for what you know. Please, guys, if you don't know how to go from the oven to, don't do it. I know how to do it from the stove. I could do it from that, the kitchen stove. I could use an electric plate, but I'm from the hood, and we ain't have all this stuff when I was growing up. But some people, all they grew up with was flat irons. So flat irons, as I told you before, they are not created equal. So this flat iron does not have a temperature gauge. You see that? So it has low and it has high, off, on. So the boxes where you're gonna learn how hot this is, some of them will put the actual temperature on the device itself, but if you use it a lot, it's gonna rub off. So make sure you read the box before you throw it away. So this one gets up to 450 degrees. This baby is hot, and this is like a ceramic aluminum mix, okay? Had to, you know, represent that. Did y'all see that? Bam! All right, okay. All right, not my uncle, but A-N-K, Unc, all right? Okay, so that's what that's all about. Then you also, can you hold this one for me, please? You also have flat irons that have little temperature gauges in there where you can turn the nozzle, and they are in increments. I can't get that in there, but you know what I'm saying, okay? So it's only on, okay? There's no high, low, and you can turn it. This is my H2 Pro. Obviously, I use this. This baby gets hot, and ooh, that thing gets hot, okay? All right, and then let's use another one here. Some of them have a dial where you can damn hot. Here we go. Just damn hot. All right, there you go. So you can turn the dial up in increments, and it does make a difference, okay? So this goes as high as 450 degrees, and I'm gonna flex that amethyst given to me by Susan Hart. Y'all feel that energy from that amethyst? Ooh, okay, all right. So Susan Hart Dotson, that is, all right. Okay, so this one is going up and down. It has an off and on switch. The indicator light will tell you how hot is hot. Now, what temperature should you use? Read the manufacturer's instructions or take a class. I know what y'all saying, but don't you always talking about classes? You want to know why? Because classes is session so you can stop guessing. You need to have knowledge in your head. We need to be learned people on these platforms. You just can't YouTube everything. You can't. You cannot just Google everything. Most of the times, you need to take your ass to class, okay? Go to school and learn from these companies how to use their stuff. Stop being self-taught. Now, you do have those autodidacts who just, a Star M Hotel, woo, Lord Jesus. That is a true autodidact, okay? But that doesn't always happen for most people. You need to go and learn from the company how to use their tools, okay? So the company is recommending that for stronger hair textures, you're gonna use higher the heat. For softer hair textures, you're gonna use lower the heat. If the hair is highlighted or compromised, you probably can't go as high. You know, so it varies from person to person. I use every bit of 450, okay? Not 50, but 50, okay? But I also use thermal protectors and so on and so forth. I never wait 2 weeks without putting soap and water on my hair. not because it's color treated, but because that's the way I was raised. I have no understanding of people waiting every 2 weeks to shampoo their hair, but I do know that it is a cultural practice for a lot of people with textured hair, not just black folk, okay? But please don't do that, guys. That's very outdated. It doesn't serve any purpose. Now, here's the thing. I know what you're saying. You tripping. You know what? You're trying to act like you something because you got them licenses and trichologies and all this stuff. Okay, so, now I know in real life, because my cousin like, I ain't coming, I ain't doing it, I don't care what she said. All right, but here's what's gonna happen. It will permanently straighten her hair. I don't care whose money you're paying. If you wait every 2 weeks to shampoo your hair as a practice, eventually it will not revert back. And it's not because of the heat, it's because it's dirty. And you're not helping you're not realigning those bonds. And you can't blame that on the heat. You can't blame it on the hairstylist. You can't blame it on the hair color. You cannot do it. It's your fault because you're not refortifying the hair with the proteins. That's what this is. This is protein. Your fingernails are proteins, all the hard stuff. Proteins, and if you don't, replenish the proteins from touching, combing, washing Flatirons, it will permanently straighten your hair. Now, that don't mean you're gonna be bald. You're not gonna go bald, no. What's gonna happen is, when you're gonna wash it, it's not gonna revert. But if you never plan on wearing an afro, I guess it really don't matter. Because you do have customers like, I don't care because I ain't wearing it no way. But if you do want to do that, you need to wash your hair once to twice a week. I don't think anybody on God's green earth should be waiting 1 week to not put water on